Hello Libra, welcome to Monarch Intuition. And since the seasons have changed, we've gone from Virgo season into Libra season. What I decided to do is do a grand occult reading for you. So I'm going to be pulling out this deck, which is supposed to be a replica of the original tarot deck that was created in Italy in the 1500s era. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy, and then we'll clarify with a different deck. So what's going on for the sign of Libra? What do we need to know? We have the Emperor, so firm authority, firm foundation right here. I believe Aries got this energy as well. So when we talk about your season, it's important to understand that it is the season of justice. This is the season of balancing out, checks and balances right here. Now, when we go into your season, everything can seem a little bit more clear for you, but other things can be a little bit out of balance for everyone else. Everyone's starting to look at their lives and say, hey, this is not in place, this is not in place. But when it's your season, you're starting to have this epiphany for yourself where you can balance things out on the scales properly. So with this Emperor energy, it's like you're going into this authoritarian energy. You're understanding that you can't just have people come to your kingdom and just worship you and bow down to you. You have to do all the things behind the scenes like an emperor does. He runs the country, he listens to his advisors, he does all of these things, right? So let's look at the Revelations Tarot before we get into the traditional artwork deck. What's going on for you? I'm going to pull 3 cards. We have the Hanged Man in reverse, we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the 8 of Pentacles. All right. So with the Hanged Man in reverse, you're starting to understand clarity. You're starting to get clarity right here. And what you're understanding is the Ten of Swords. You're starting to see things from a higher perspective. But now that you've understood these things, it's time for you to cut yourself down. A lot of people like to hang around in hangman mode because it's kind of representation of this stagnant energy, but it's very comfortable energy to be in. However, once you gain enlightenment, once you see the truth of a situation, you need to cut yourself down. So what I'm seeing is that you're understanding the Ten of Swords. Maybe you don't like to believe what you've learned with the Hanged Man energy, but it's time for you to understand it and accept it and move forward with your life with this 8 of Pentacles. Start crafting something new. Start taking control of your life with this Emperor energy. So let's get into this deck right here. What do we need to know about this Hanged Man energy? What's going on for you, Libra? This deck is kind of a nightmare to shuffle, so I'm not going to shuffle it that much. Yep. All right, so we have the 8 of Cups coming out. And we have the 3 of Swords. Okay, you're enlightened to the 3 of Swords energy, your own energy. And that's something that you have to understand, Libra. You do rule the 3, 4, or the 2, 3, and 4 of Swords. The 2 of Swords is being blocked off to a situation. The 3 of Swords is recognizing the heartbreak, and the 4 of Swords is going into peace and understanding you need to recover from that situation. So what you're seeing from a different perspective right here is that sometimes you have to walk away from emotional situations no matter how badly that they hurt. And that's what the 10 of Swords is understanding that sometimes it's better to have a mental death and work through your mental death than to sit there and languish within the 10 of Swords energy. Okay? So we have the Empress. Sorry, not the Empress, the Queen of Cups and the 3 of Batons. So with this Queen of Cups energy and the 3 of Batons, this is you sending out emotional messages, but you're understanding that the emotional messages are not coming back to you. You've sent out all of this nurturing, motherly energy to people, but I don't see it being reciprocated with this 10 of Swords. You're waiting on the horizon, waiting for something to come in, but I feel like you have all the clarity that you need. And it's time for you to go into this Emperor mode and say, I have to take control of my life right here. I have to regain control. I have to learn how to be happy. I have to work through this, 10 of Swords energy. 10 of Swords is, dark night of the soul. When we talk about dark night of the soul, it's just about doing the shadow work to heal yourself. What is shadow work when it comes to healing yourself is looking at the person's toxic traits, a person, a job, a situation, and then looking at yours. And then trying to connect with things that make you happy, trying to, build them as part of your life again. And then when the next situation comes along, not letting go of those things that make you happy. For example, if you like to, play music and you like to knit and you like to take care of plants or take care of animals, whatever the situation is, don't give up all the things that make you happy for someone else. Understanding those things that you do are part of who you are as a person, and someone will come in or a situation will come in that will be able to cater to that situation. A lot of people will, get these jobs and they'll move across the country, but they'll get an apartment that says they can't have animals. Well, they've had a cat or a dog for, 10 years. So what'll they do? They'll give it to their parents or they'll drop it off at a shelter or whatever. And then that job makes them unfulfilled anyway. That job makes them unfulfilled. And now they've lost their animal. They're unfulfilled at this job. Wouldn't it have been better to just keep that part of you? Keep that thing around you. Keep that comfort item, that luxury item that you have. I'm not saying an animal is a luxury item, but you know what I mean. What's this Eight of Pentacles? We have the Page of Pentacles and the Tower card. The Tower is coming in to destroy something that this Page of Pentacles has built for himself. Okay? Now you can sit around and cry about spilled milk all you want, or you can choose to pick up the pieces and to move forward and say, my hard work was destroyed. What I've put out was kind of destroyed, but seeing things from a higher perspective right here. This Ten of Swords energy is not going to get any better until you choose to move away from it. And if you don't choose to move away from it, the Tower will come in to destroy what you have built for yourself. Because I kind of feel like you're living in ignorance is bliss. You have the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles, you have the Two of Cups. I kind of feel like with this Nine of Pentacles energy, you've built this garden for yourself. But it's only giving you what you need for the day. It's only connecting you to this Two of Cups right here on a very minor level. So when I say you've built your garden for yourself, you've built like a garden, but some of your plants are not producing plants. They're not producing crops, right? Maybe you have like an orchard and you have 50 apple trees, but only 10 of them are producing apples. Now you've put in all this hard work to try to, keep these trees alive and whatnot. But now it's time for you to come to that realization that, hey, I need to cut down these 40 apple trees and replant and regrow because they are not providing me what I need. Now I do have these 10 apple trees right here that are providing me apples. However, I can keep these things within my life, those comfort items, those luxury items, allow them to be incorporated within your life some way. But if something is not giving you what you need in a situation, you have to go ahead and get rid of that. You have the Queen of Wands, you have the Devil, and you have the Six of Wands right here. But here's the thing. You can overcome the situation and have victory for yourself, but it does require you to let go of certain addictions within your life for you to gain mastery over the devil. Remember, the Queen of Wands is kind of like a witch, right? She has to gain mastery over herself and over the entities that are around her. Now, I'm not saying to dabble in black magic, things of that nature, and I'm most certainly saying not telling you to go and practice black magic to turn this situation around for yourself. You should not do that. I know that could be tempting for you, maybe saying you want to cast a love spell or you want to cast this spell, you want to talk to this demon and whatnot. However, that's not going to get you what you want. Because ultimately, if it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. And no matter how much black magic you put on there that acts like a band-aid, eventually that wound will open up, okay? And all you're going to do is cast more and more black magic to try to suture it closed, but it can't be. And that's how people stay in miserable situations for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. They build something, they're like, it's okay, it's a garden I built for myself, but if it's only giving you 10% of, 100% that you're putting into it, then it's not worth for you to keep. It's not worth for you to have. The Five of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the Four of Wands. I kind of feel like in a way, though, you're putting up with the situation because it is financially stable for you. Maybe you're staying at a job that's financially stable and you don't want to leave it, but you know that it's ultimately toxic. You know that it's killing you deep down. Maybe this is a lover. Maybe you're staying with someone because they are financially stable and you're not. But eventually, that situation has to come to an end. And you know what? If you are in a situation where you have to be there, I would say just stay in it until you are capable and ready to leave on your own, okay? I'm not going to say to just leave and, go be homeless on the side of the streets or anything like that. I understand where people come from in life. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just saying Don't try to cling to a situation. If it does naturally fall apart, then it naturally falls apart. All right? So what can Libra do to move forward in this? What can Libra do to get out of this situation? Because this Five of Swords right here represents, backstabbing, conflicting energy. So you're staying within a financially stable situation, although it's backstabbing, although there's malicious energy, so that way you can have this minor victory with the Four of Wands. You have the Six of Wands as a minor victory. You have the Four of Wands as a minor celebration. You're celebrating the situation because you do have, some sort of stability within your life, but it's not something that actually makes you fulfilled. We have the Hierophant coming out. We have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Sun energy. I kind of feel like you're in a Hierophant situation, a situation of higher commitment. But here's the thing. The Seven of Swords represents, trying to get away with something. It's a little bit dishonest, right? The sunlight is here to show you that regardless of how the situation plays out, the sunlight will crash the tower eventually. If we look very closely at this energy, I don't know if you can see it on these cards, but this angel, this cherub, is carrying the sun. This is the same sun that's striking the tower down within this card. So things will be exposed regardless. Things will fall apart. And here's the thing about the sunlight. The sunlight is not all about love, light, happiness, and whatnot. It's about exposing situations for what they are, okay? And it's better to see things from the sun perspective than to wander around in the moonlight perspective where you don't know what's actually happening, okay? And if you choose to wander around in the darkness, eventually the sun will come, strike the tower down, and you will see the horrible face of the sun. You'll see it in all of its magnitude, all of its splendor, all of its, kind of like looking at the face of God. If you look at the face of God, you'll die. That's kind of like the situation right there, is basically understanding the cosmic horror of the sun. So if there is a commitment, or if there is a situation and someone's trying to do something, a little bit shady, maybe someone's cheating, maybe the situation was not built on, very ethical grounds, eventually the situation will fall apart and you will see the broad face of the sun. And it's not telling you that you're going to like it. It's not saying you're going to dislike it. Maybe you just want proof of the situation. Maybe you are in your life right now saying, I want proof that a person is cheating on me before I leave. You get the proof. That's that Ten of Swords with that Queen of Cups. You're saying, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to try to nurture it. Maybe the person is just going through a rough time, but you get the information that you need to move forward. You get the information that strikes the tower down. You're no longer in the dark. You're no longer chained to a situation. Move forward. We have the Moon card. You're no longer in the dark, okay? We have the Five of Cups. You get some sort of unsettling news, but it's the news that you need to hear to move forward within your life. And this could be, a situation where maybe you're hoping to get back with someone, that you truly care about. Maybe you've always really, really liked someone. It just never worked out, and you've always thought about them for the past 5, 10 years, whatever it is. And then you get some news about them, and you're like, oh, wow. And that just kind of destroys everything that you've built within yourself. Because here's the thing. When we fantasize about people, when we, have crushes, we're not falling in love with the person themselves. We're falling in love with the idea of the person. Because our imagination can run wild. We think about having kids and having a nice house and, having the nice car, but we don't know who that person truly is. Whether they have bad habits, whether a bad person, we only see the good, all right? We never really pay attention to the red flags. You're going to receive the information of the red flags. The Magician coming out with the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords twice. You've conjured up a spell to see something. You want to see something for what it is. You don't want the universe to hold back. You want to know the truth. And the truth comes in. Ten of Swords. You have the Seven of Cups. You're no longer in this fantasy situation. That's what you need to understand for yourself, is that you don't need to fall in love with the idealized version of someone. You need to fall in love with the person themselves, okay? And that's a part where people get into relationships. They, have whirlwind romances, and they realize they can't stand one another at the end of the day. But unfortunately, sometimes people get married to one another. Sometimes people, get engaged too early because they like the concept of it, but they don't like the obligation to it. For example, I've talked about it before, people who are like bridezillas, they want to have the perfect wedding day, but then, a couple of years later, they're divorced. Why? Because they didn't love the person. They loved the idea of getting married. The Two of Pentacles with the Page of Cups, with the Knight of Wands. You want balance within your life, but here's the thing. You're coming at it from a very childlike emotional situation. You're rushing into something. You're wanting to have emotional fulfillment by rushing in to seek balance, because a lot of people get married early in life, to try to have some sort of stable footing. 2 checks are better than 1 kind of energy. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it's all just bitter, chaotic conflict throughout that entire relationship. You have the King of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles coming out. The King of Cups is saying to hold on to your emotional stability right here. Hold on to your emotions. And to move forward to do something constructive, okay? You're going to have the opportunity to move forward into a very constructive manner with this Knight of Pentacles. A nice solid offer is coming towards you. After this situation plays out, after you understand everything, after you have a moment to reflect and re-gauge the situation, you will have this Knight of Pentacles coming in to this King of Cups. And it is a new opportunity, a new solid beginning, a new solid structure. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Five of Pentacles. You want to get out of the Five of Pentacles energy. You need information to get out of the Five of Pentacles. I feel like, as I said before, being in a commitment because of being in some sort of poverty mindset, this is something that's going to be crossing your mind. You're saying, all right, now I got to leave this situation. Now I got to move forward. How am I going to do so with this Five of Pentacles right here? But I feel like you will get the information that you seek with the Knight of Swords. Have the Nine of Cups. You will receive information that will allow you to make a very good wish fulfillment within your life. You're going to see something and say, you know what? Okay, this is truly what I want to do. I'm going to move forward past this into my dream fulfillment. As I said, maybe you're in that situation where you're trying to get the benefits and you're trying to, maybe you're married with kids and you're only with this person because they have the benefits. Maybe you're at home taking care of the kids. Well, now here's the opportunity to go back to work to have your own benefits, whatever it is, because you found out that this person's cheating on you. Something comes in that helps you move forward, but it's up to you to take that opportunity, okay? And it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. But here's the thing. The Eight of Pentacles is here. It's representing it's hard work. There is no skipping steps right here. You're going to have to look at this situation and face it with a brave face and say, I'm just going to have to get down to work, to business, to craft these 8 pentacles for myself. It represents you being self-sufficient right here. But you are seeking, you're wanting clarity. You're wanting balance within your life. I kind of feel like you don't really know what to do. You're trying to make something work, but something is not receptive. Okay. You're thinking, well, maybe this just the other person, or maybe it's just the other situation. And now you're going to get the clarity that you need of what's actually going on. It's going to shock you. It's going to upset you. You're going to be like, oh, wow, I can't believe that I didn't see those red flags, but here we go. And then you're getting this opportunity to move forward once you kind of let the dust settle down. So we have Trick or Treat, Mischief and Play, and Cauldron, Synergy and Healing. It might come out as like, someone has a joking manner, or someone says a joke, right? And, or maybe, I feel like it's in a jovial way you find this out. Someone says a joke, someone tries to be funny, someone, tries to play off their misbehaviors as being comedic. But once you find out, you can go into this cauldron energy. You can heal yourself from it. You can have this synergized energy where you can align yourself back with the universe again. Because it's very easy to lose yourself into other people or other situations, when you're focused on something else, when you're focused on trying to make something work. So what's going on with the Witch's Familiar Oracle cards? You have nymph promiscuity, spider deception. I feel like someone is playing with your heart right here. The nymph promiscuity is saying you don't want to be promiscuous because it warns against being promiscuous as a person. But here's the problem with this deception with the spider: someone else is. Someone is kind of saying that they're not, but they are. Now, if you are in a happy relationship, this could be, you know, with a friend. Maybe you've always talked about this person and said, hey, you need to leave that situation. Maybe you're going to have to help someone right here. Maybe someone is going to go through a very, very dark night of the soul, and they're going to want you to be the person who is like, you know, a friend to them. Maybe you're talking to someone. Maybe you're at a job and you're just wondering why you can't get promoted. You can't just move forward. Maybe you've been there for so long, and then all of a sudden you find out someone's fucking the boss. And you're like, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. I guess I'm never going to get promoted, so I'll just move on. And that's what it is. Like, it's all about sexual deception right here. You have lighten your load, protection, and well-being. You know, ultimately, you can see it from two different perspectives. The Ten of Swords doesn't always have to be a bad card, because once you get the information, it's over. Once you receive that shocking illumination from that tower and that Ten of Swords, you're like, all right, it is what it is. And you're able to drop the burdens. You're protected. I don't really see anything bad happening. It's not a physical level. It's on a mental level. Your well-being is assured. The universe is wanting you to protect yourself. Once you get this information, once you understand things, the universe is saying, don't just sit around and stay in that energy. Move forward. Do something else. And here's the thing. If you put in some sort of effort to try to move forward, the universe will help you out. Okay? Because understand the law of equivalent exchange. What goes around comes around. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It's the laws of karma. If something bad happens over here, the universe has no choice but to rebalance the situation and give you something good. Okay? So if you've been struggling and trying to make something work, because I know some people, they'll stay in relationships simply because, you know, they got married under God, and God doesn't want people to get divorced unless X, Y, and Z happens, right? And you might get the information that's saying, hey, you need to have that divorce because that person is cheating on you. That's one of the reasons, you know, you can get a divorce in the Bible and like a traditional biblical marriage. So maybe the universe is saying, hey, it's time for that. Maybe it's time for you to just, you know, bite the bullet, understand the truth. It's harsh, but here's the thing. If you make the effort to move away from it, the universe has no choice but to balance out that situation, to try to make it better for you. So if you've been through a lot of suffering, you've tried, you've done your due diligence, understand that it will change for you. So that could be happening within Libra season. This might be happening right now. Something good might be coming your way within Libra season. You've been working, you've been putting in all this effort, and okay, here's the Nine of Cups, and here is the Eight of Pentacles. Something that you can work on, something that's solid for you, and it's something that you want. So let's look at your Awakened Oracle cards. We have Alchemy coming out. We have Blaze a Trail. Don't manifest with darker energies, but definitely pay attention to that magician energy. Alchemy is manifestation itself. Alchemy is understanding the laws of nature, understanding equivalent exchange, understanding karma. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That is alchemy at its core essence. Once the scales balance out, blaze a trail. Once you get the information, blaze a trail. Just move out of that situation if you can, okay? But it's saying that if you do make the effort to try, the universe will definitely help propel you forward with this blaze a trail energy. I kind of feel like the universe doesn't even want you to be here in whatever this is. So let's look at your rune cards. Your protection is assured, your well-being is assured, and it's actually better because now you're free from whatever the burden is. Maybe you're constantly plagued with, you know, anxiety. Is this person cheating on me? Why can't I get this promotion? What's going on? And now all of a sudden you have the clarity, and it allows you to just kind of take it off. All right, it is what it is, and move forward. You have Sawilu, vitality, good health, good fortune, and happiness, blessings and wholeness. The universe will receive or give you a blessing. Here's the thing with this Sawilu sun card. We have the sun card coming out. So this is a very good, situation for you to be in. You're going to have that blinding clarity, but the sun is not going to let you down. Even though the sun, it can be a horrible card, it is also a very powerful card. It does represent happiness. It does represent good health. All right. Sun can't really be a horrible card. It can't really be a good card. It's just blinding illumination. Like, that's the truth. That's it. And whether you view it as happy or not, then that's up to you. It's two ways you can look at it. The child riding on the white horse with the sunflower and the sun in the background. You can look at it as a very happy, situation. The child is being born. They're on the white horse. Or you can look at it from the pessimistic, the realist point of view and say, that's kind of sad because that child didn't ask to be born, and now they're going to grow up, suffer, pain and heartbreak and misfortune and depression and whatever, and eventually they're going to die. However, in between that, they're still going to have moments of happiness. They're going to be living a human experience. They're going to experience, moments of laughing and joy and whatever. It's a balance. So it's up to you however you want to view the situation. You can move forward with happiness, knowing that you have the information, or you can move forward with sadness, saying, man, I've really just put in all of this effort. Well, here's the thing, you don't have to put in any more. Fredo, speed your journey, ease a transition, aid communication, bring good news, and find your spiritual way. You don't have to be one of those people who stays within a situation for, 15, 20, 30 years, just completely miserable. And I've met a lot of people who do that. They just cannot simply walk away from something because they've already invested too much into it. But here's the thing, maybe the universe is trying to help you understand this. Trying to teach you not to change for other people. Not to, give up everything just to have one thing within your life. So anyway, Libra, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later.